The calls for the KwaZulu-Natal's Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs departments to retract their plans to spend some 28 million rand on the SA Music Awards. Action SA KwaZulu-Natal has written to President Matamela Ramaphosa saying the millions should go towards assisting residents who are already struggling with a high cost of living and still recovering from last April's floods. The eNCA reporter Lethiwe Mdluli joining us now. More on this story. Good afternoon, Lukele. Can you tell us exactly what are the artists saying about the funding problem?
Well, but then most of the artists here in KwaZulu-Natal are saying if they're not going to benefit from these awards, they don't want the awards to take place, saying that they won't take place in Durban. They are saying that it's 3 weeks before the awards, but there haven't been any communication between them and the Department of Economic Development, who are set to be funding these awards. And they're saying that they've asked for some funds so that they can perform activations across all 9 districts in KwaZulu-Natal. But unfortunately, their meetings have not yielded any results, and as a result of that, they are saying that they don't think the awards should take place if they're not going to be benefiting local artists. I had a chance to speak to the chairperson for the creative industry here in KwaZulu-Natal, Tizozo Zulu, and I asked him whether they are happy with the amount that is going to be spent for these awards as well. As you correctly said, the Department of Economic Development, Braden, is spending about 28 million or planning to spend that amount on these awards. It's not only that amount, though. We do understand that other departments are going to be also forking out some money for them, and they are saying that, rather the artists are saying that they don't really worry much about the funding, but they want to be a part of them, and if they are not, they don't think that the awards should be taking place. While I was speaking to Tizozo a bit earlier on, this is what he had to say.
We want our KZN artists, local artists, to benefit from it, and we want people of KZN to feel the summers. Hence, we are saying we want to do activations in all 11 districts. That's all we are asking. We in talks with the department. We had a meeting with the people from the summers. If we are not agreed, there will be no summers here in KZN. Yeah. As long as our artists will benefit, then we will be behind the summers.
And what has been the reaction in terms of Durban hosting the summers next month, Lethiwe?
Well, but then there's been a lot of pushback from opposition parties such as Action SA and also the DA here in KwaZulu-Natal. They are questioning why the government is spending so much money on an award show, when there are so many other issues that the province is currently dealing with, such as the water crisis and also the sewage issue. They do say that they understand that the awards will be bringing in money and also impacting on the tourism sector, but they are saying that the amount that is said to be spent by government is also questionable. There are a lot of questions because right now what we do know is that ETIA is planning to spend 28 million rand, while eThekwini municipality has pledged to spend about 25 million rand. And we do also understand that the Department of Sport and Recreation here in the province is set to spend about 3 million rand, which takes the amount to almost 55 million rand. The opposition parties are asking why so much money for just a 2-day event when all that money can be allocated to other things such as the water crisis. I also spoke to the ANC a bit earlier on to get their reaction to the amount that is set to be spent for these awards, and they are saying that the amount by ETIA is just a drop in the ocean when compared to the problems that KwaZulu-Natal is dealing with, saying that the water crisis will need billions of rands on its own. So the amount of 28 million rand is just a little money that they are setting aside for the awards. But the opposition parties are not hearing it. I do know that the DA has written to the SIU and they have asked them to investigate this issue, while Action SA has written to the president in his capacity as the president of the ANC to look into the issue and try and speak to the MEC and also the ANC here in the province to try and cancel out these plans. They are saying that they're for tourism, but if tourism is going to be wasting so much money when that money could be allocated to other things, they think that the money should go towards something that is very different. Well, I was speaking to Action SA's Zwagele Mngwango a bit earlier on. This is what he had to say.
Are saying in the province where there's a crisis of employment and there's really a need for service delivery, we can't really accept and we can't even justify how is it possible you are prepared to channel 28 million rand meant for service delivery and meant for compensation of employees and channel it to a one-day event. Same with the Lethiwe municipality. We have a challenge of infrastructure. We face with floods almost every year in Lethiwe. We still have a backlog on maintenance. It was damaged by floods last year. But today we hear the mayor is committing about 25 million rand towards summers.